Shop here first.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Taylor. Atlanta police say the officer who shot and killed Rayshard Brooks has been terminated. Jim Forbes has more.
A second officer involved in the Friday night shooting of 27-year-old Brooks has been placed on administrative leave. Atlanta Police Chief Erica Shields resigned following the shooting. Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms announced Saturday that she accepted Shields' resignation and that she believes the Brooks shooting was not a justified use of deadly force. Jim Forbes, NBC News Radio.
The Atlanta Police Department is releasing the names of the officers involved in the shooting death of Rayshard Brooks. Officer David Brosnan and Officer Garrett Rolfe responded to the call Friday night at a Wendy's restaurant of a man asleep in a car in the drive-thru. After the man, now known as Brooks, could not pass a field sobriety test, Georgia Bureau of Investigations officials say Brooks began to struggle with the officers and was able to get a taser away from one of them. When he pointed the taser at the officers, one shot Brooks, who died later at the hospital. A crowd of angry protesters gathered outside the Wendy's restaurant and later torched the building, which later burned to the ground. House Majority Whip James Clyburn is not in favor of defunding the police. The South Carolina Democrat called for restructuring police and seeing the profession reimagined. Clyburn said the role of police has to be appropriate for the time we live in, and police must respond to the communities they protect and serve. President Trump has offered what he calls an American salute to the graduating class at West Point. Delivering the commencement address Saturday at the U.S. Military Academy in New York, the president also applauded the efforts of the cadets, saying future generations will study your legacy and follow in your footsteps.
To the 1,107 cadets who today become the newest officers in the most exceptional Army ever to take the field of battle.
The president's speech focused on unity, diversity, and proudly serving one American nation. Lisa Taylor, NBC News Radio.
What is the best way to soothe a sunburn? We will share some time-tested remedies today on the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee and, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email at joe@onesocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee and panel on ON 1240, WOON One Socket Radio.
And a good morning to you. It is Coffee and time on ON, AM, and FM. Nice of you to join us this morning. It is Monday morning. It's June 15th, halfway through June. Wow. Where's the year going, right?
Doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't. No, it's too darn cold.
Yeah.
No, what's going on? Like I said, I'm Joe Callahan. That was Romeo Berthium. Good morning to you, Romeo.
Good morning.
And over there, former Woonsocket Mayor Charlie Baldelli has graced us with his presence. Hello there, Charlie.
Thank you, Joe. Good to be here.
Good to be here as well. Dave Richards is sitting right over there. Hi, Dave.
Won't be cold for long, Joe. Look at Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all in the upper 80s. And Friday, even 90 degrees is in the forecast.
Wow.
So you will get your wish, my friend.
I don't know if it's my wish. Just,
well, you said it was too cold.
Well, it's too cold in the morning. You know, getting up in 55. I'm like, come on.
The last few days of spring. Summer arrives on Saturday. The 20th. Summer solstice, yeah.
And so does Romeo returns on Saturday.
Yes, I do.
Romeo's back on Saturday mornings?
I am.
You didn't know that?
No.
He's been off for 2 weeks, Charlie. We'll have to make sure you're on the memo list.
Not that I'm counting, but I've done 3 already. But you know what? When people ask me, are you still doing that show on ON? And I say to them, apparently you're not listening, because if you were, you wouldn't ask me that question.
Well, the fact is that you're gone so many months. They change their habits.
That's true.
I can't
comment on that one.
All right,
they ain't tuning in Saturdays to hear me. That's for sure.
Oh yes, they are.
I'm just keeping the needles moving.
All right, this segment of the Coffee and program is sponsored by Windermere Woods.
Keeping needles moving.
Windermere Woods, located at 1044 Menden Road in Woonsocket. Windermere Woods, 401-762-4226, and also on the web at windermerewoods.com. Live at Windermere Woods in a nice atmosphere that provides caring, security, and comfort. Once you move in, you'll want to stay at Windermere Woods for many years and be happy. It's a comfortable place to live and meet new people, enjoy regular meals, and get peace of mind. Windermere Woods is a small community with a nice, friendly atmosphere, and Windermere Woods is affordable. Windermere Woods offers such programs as housekeeping services, transportation to doctor's appointments, and to shopping. Windermere Woods is a very secure facility, 24/7 staffing. Someone's there day and night. They provide social entertainment activities and invite you to come by and visit. Windermere Woods, 1044 Minden Road, Woonsocket, 401-762-4226. Windermere Woods.
All right, Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Romeo Berthum, Dave Richards, Charlie Baldelli. Now, let's see. What's the first thing we're going to get Charlie riled up about? Charlie,
What?
when you were mayor,
What?
how often did you interfere with the runnings of the police department?
Never.
Thank you.
You want to know why?
Because you don't know anything about police work.
I don't know anything about police work, and I stayed out of the police station.
He's making my point for me.
And I stayed out of the fire department.
Did you see what happened in Atlanta this weekend?
Yes.
I know the chief of police resigned.
Resigned.
Yeah, right.
Do you know why?
No.
Okay. Well, in a nutshell, the employees of a Wendy's restaurant called the police department because they had a drunk person in their drive-thru. I guess he wouldn't move. The police show up. They move him out of the drive-thru. They go to take him into custody. There's a scuffle. The drunk driver, allegedly drunk driver, grabs the taser of the policeman, starts to make a run for it. He then turns around and points the taser at the cop. Cop shoots him and kills him.
Yeah.
That's not exactly how it happened, according to the autopsy. Did you hear this morning's news?
No, I heard the autopsy said he was murdered.
Shot twice in the back.
In the back. Well, yeah, he was running away, so they shot him.
Well, then I heard...
Because you said,
yes,
you recounted a story that you
That's
heard
right, over the
where he
weekend.
turned around.
And pointed the taser at
That's exactly right. I saw the television report.
Okay.
He turned around and confronted the police, and he fired.
And now
But
the ME says no.
The medical examiner says 2 rounds to the back did him in. He could not have self-inflicted them.
No, he didn't have a gun.
It's kind of hard.
Even if he had a gun, he couldn't have done it.
So if you grab a piece of equipment from a police officer and make a run for it, do they have the right to shoot you as you're running away?
Well, that depends on the situation, I suppose. Are there other people that could be harmed? Are you heading toward other people? Are you?
You don't want the civilians to have use of a taser.
Of course not.
And so maybe you're shooting to wound, but you miss and you get him in an organ or something like that.
So is it possible that he aimed the taser at the cop and shot him, fired it or whatever they do, and then turned around and continued to run, and that's when they shot him?
I would not want to be a
This
police
is just so.
officer
This
today.
is so not purposeful to be just imagining these things and talking in public about it. To me, to me, it's just not purposeful.
So the police chief of Atlanta quit, resigned. I bet. I wonder if the mayor went to them and said, "You better resign before I fire you."
Could be.
We all know that.
Because the mayor has already said down there that she is questioning the tactics of the police. Hasn't one of the cops been fired?
Both, I think. I think they fired both cops. But I also heard they burnt Wendy's down.
They did. Yeah. The crowd went and
That's the price. That's the
makes so much
price
sense.
Wendy's had to pay to call the cops to get rid of that guy. And that's where.
Well, that'll teach him to call the cops, huh?
I guess.
It's funny. Back in my younger days,
Don't take that statement seriously, folks. I'm disgusted.
working at a Burger King, we had a drunk person in the restaurant.
Yeah.
He's drunk. We should call the cops. We called the North Attleboro police. They showed up. 2 or 3 cruisers showed up. They went and okay, come with us, and they walked them out of the restaurant, and No,
I'm sure that's
no
what
one was
happens most
shot.
of the time. That's what
right.
happens most of the time.
Yeah.
I cannot help but imagine, choosing my words as carefully as I know how, I cannot help but imagine that there isn't some sort of nefarious work in social media going on behind this to fan the flames of discontent. I just can't help but imagine this. Why do I keep thinking this? You hear all these things going on where you know that good things and bad things happen every day, but all we're hearing is this desperately bad stuff. And I'm saying to myself, somebody's fanning the flames, or could I be wrong?
You are not wrong.
In your opinion.
In my opinion.
And I'll go one step further and say it's not only social media that's fanning the flames.
Well, that's the problem. Unfortunately, you've got a lot of young kids in broadcast television and radio who never had a good example of what a real broadcast journalist is because they're too young to remember Walter Cronkite, Edward R. Murrow, and so many other really good reporters that were out there, David Huntley and Chet Brinkley. I'm sorry.
Just the other way around.
Chet Huntley and David Brinkley. I knew it immediately.
That old? Hey, David's that old?
And so, yes, I am. And Gene O'Neill and other folks.
Gene O'Neill, yeah.
Sure. They never had the benefit of the example of these people who would be so careful in what they put out on the air to fact check. They could still be fooled because they're human, but most of the time they weren't.
I understand what you're saying, Dave, but what about their editors and their
they're
directors
the same.
and their
editors are the same.
You would think that they would filter those newscasts, or at least check them.
Once we switched over to infotainment,
they don't do that anymore, bro.
Yeah, once we switched over to infotainment, and as soon as the fairness doctrine was gone, when was that? Was that 90 or 85? I'm trying to remember. Somewhere around 90ish, give or take a few years, right? Once they got rid of the fairness doctrine, nobody had to be responsible anymore, and they, starting with CNN, in my opinion, started to not be responsible in what they were putting out, where CNN would make up the news, and I saw that myself on a national story, because I was on the same national story, and I saw what they put out, and they made it up. So, but they don't stop them for that, because it's infotainment now. You know, before, these networks they had brick and mortar edifices, they had all these different things that were cost money. They didn't want to lose them. They didn't want to lose their reputation. So the rules were in place, and you had to toe the mark to do responsible reporting. But that doesn't happen anymore. Remember the fairness doctrine, Charlie?
Absolutely.
You're old enough to remember that.
Absolutely not. Romeo remembers, though, don't you, Romeo?
Absolutely.
The fairness doctrine was if somebody went on your radio station or television station, it's for all broadcast, it was an FCC rule. If someone went on your station and said something rotten about the mayor, the station was obligated to inform the mayor that something rotten was said about them and offer them a chance to rebut. That was the law of the land up until the late 1900s. So I'm sorry, my brain is soft. I don't remember what year that happened, but after that, slowly they said, well, we're not going to get fined for it anymore, so we'll just go and misbehave. We'll get the audience. You get an audience for misbehaving. How many people look at the kid in the restaurant that isn't crying? You look at the kid that's crying or running around or misbehaving in one way or another for a public setting.
So back to my original question. So Charlie, you never interfered with the goings on at the police station.
No, in fact, my chief said to me, "Why don't you come down to the station once in a while, meet the guys?"
Just to say hi. Okay.
I said, "Why? What do I know about police work? It's none of my business. I can't offer anything constructive."
Okay, Charlie.
The same thing to the fire chief.
It's a good point you make, but there are some mayors here, even in the city, that acted as their own public safety directors.
Absolutely right. They used to like to ride around in a cruiser and all of that good stuff. I remember those characters.
Yeah.
And they were characters.
So that is a possibility that a mayor can
No
do
names,
that.
please.
No.
Right? The chief of the fire department and the police department serve at the pleasure of the mayor.
That's what I'm saying.
They do.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But you don't put your nose somewhere where it doesn't belong because you know nothing about
how to do it.
What am I going to say?
Right.
But you know what? The thing that I can't understand is, does anybody work? I see all these demonstrators out there that are in their 20s. Does anybody have a job?
There you go.
What did they do? Do they work? Does anybody work?
It's funny you mention that because I was talking to a friend over the weekend, and I know what my parents would have said: "Get a job, get a job."
Yeah.
You're right. Good point.
Why? They're collecting unemployment and another
plus 600
$800 a week about total.
That's going to end in July, I
Thank
believe.
God, yes. I hope it does.
Thank God.
Me too.
A lot of the restaurant
Hopefully
owners,
they put it away in a bank.
A lot of restaurant owners are suffering because of that. They can't get their help back.
Yeah.
Right. Well, think about it.
Although we went to Village Haven this weekend,
You
and
did.
they were fully staffed
Yeah.
with top-notch wait staff, the same wait staff that you saw, not as many because they only brought back a few.
Sure.
But the people who were there were absolutely top-notch Village Haven wait staff. And I know we had Scott, who were there with John and Diane, and that we had to make our reservations ahead of time. We were there, and there's a lot of empty tables because of every other table had to be empty.
Right.
But there were still a lot of people in there, too.
Well, people are dying to get out there.
So it was very successful this weekend as they opened up with the 50% rule.
I was talking to Joe Callahan before the show.
You were. Here he is.
Because he's a very friendly sort of guy.
Guy right over there.
Yeah,
Romeo.
I got you.
Anyway, I said, I can remember a quote by the infamous Spiro Agnew.
Oh, yes.
Spyro.
Remember how Spiro
He was the vice president under
Yeah,
Nixon
yes,
who
he
resigned. Yeah.
He had a memorable quote that I never forgot. He said, we can never allow a vocal minority to impose their will on the silent majority. And that's
Unless, of course, the president lies about it.
Huh? He's right on target today. That's what's happening today.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, the president lies about it.
Well, all right. We're going to take a break on the Coffee and program right now. So comments and questions can be called in 766-1240. Please don't email them in because the computer is not... It hasn't woken up yet.
Yeah, right.
So when it wakes up, I'll take a look at it. But I can't see it right now. This first segment sponsor, Coffee and, has been Windermere Woods.
Windermere Woods, located at 1044 Menden Road in Woonsocket. Windermere Woods, 401-762-4226, and also on the web at windermerewoods.com. Live at Windermere Woods in a nice atmosphere that provides caring, security, and comfort. Once you move in, you'll want to stay at Windermere Woods for many years and be happy. It's a comfortable place to live and meet new people, enjoy regular meals, and get peace of mind. Windermere Woods is a small community with a nice, friendly atmosphere, and Windermere Woods is affordable. Windermere Woods offers such programs as housekeeping services, transportation to doctor's appointments, and to shopping. Windermere Woods is a very secure facility, 24/7 staffing. Someone's there day and night. They provide social entertainment activities and invite you to come by and visit. Windermere Woods, 1044 Minden Road, Woonsocket, 401-762-4226. Windermere Woods.
Riverfront Patio Dining awaits you at River Falls Restaurant. Enjoy your lunch or dinner as you overlook the Blackstone River. Here are some of the wonderful items on the menu: steak and peppers pizza, baked stuffed haddock, and choice filet mignon. Make your River Falls Restaurant reservations today by calling 401-235-9026. 235-9026, or go online to riverfallscomplex.com. You'll love the Riverfront Patio Dining at River Falls Restaurant, Market Square, Woonsocket.
People ask what PACE is. Well, PACE is a different kind of health plan. There's really nothing like it. Because PACE was created to give older people with health challenges the care and support they need to keep living at home. If you have a parent who wants to remain independent and live at home, but needs help to do so, call 401-654-4176 or visit pace-ri.org and see what a difference PACE can make in both of your lives.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
Blackstone Valley's ON Radio.
Coffee in on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Joe Callahan here with Charlie Baldelli, Dave Richards, and Romeo Berthum is here as well. So, Romeo, let me ask you this. Turn your microphone on.
I was never mayor, so I can't
No,
answer.
on a completely different
But you
subject.
could have been.
Maybe.
I'm going to go back into my youth. Ready?
Your youth.
Yes. In 1976,
Yeah.
I was 10 in the fourth grade.
Okay.
That's the spirit.
Thank you. That's right.
You must have been kept
And-
behind one year because you're supposed to be in the 5th grade when you're 10.
No, I was born at the early part of the year.
Sure. All right, go ahead.
Nice
Keep
try.
going.
Anyway, that year, Jimmy Carter was running for
Yes, he
president
was.
against Gerald Ford.
Yes, he was.
And not once did I hear from any of my teachers who they thought should be presidents.
Oh, no, they didn't do it back then.
4 years later, 1980.
Okay.
Jimmy Carter against Ronald Reagan. Again, didn't hear a word from the teachers about who they thought should be president.
Right.
What is... Now, Romy, you were a history teacher.
I was.
Did you ever tell your students who you thought...
No.
Well, what has changed?
I tried to stay neutral. I mean, sometimes it would come out between the lines.
Look at
People
the-
would say, "Oh, I know who you're voting." I would say, "No, I'm not."
Look at this guy in Pawtucket. The
yeah.
teacher in Pawtucket decided to go desecrate the... Well, he didn't make it to the statue, but he made it to the wooden box. But when did things change where teachers, especially history teachers, are now espousing their views of who they think should be elected?
I think around the same time the media changed.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole culture changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, you know, maybe this particular teacher was, quote unquote, trained by professors who
Absolutely.
began espousing their views publicly. They always did that, but they do it a lot more now. I mean, I remember my professors giving their political views, and I was going to college. But the teachers, yeah, I tried to stay as neutral as possible. In fact, we were told, be careful.
Yeah.
Don't, because the kid in front of you, the kid in the second row, his father might be, a councilman, or he might be running for office, or he might take offense at what you just said. So you got to be very, very careful.
You were brave enough to have me there address the student body. And I was very controversial.
Well, that was different. That was you. That wasn't me. And I used to tell the kids, whatever that guy says.
I used to tell them how impotent they were because they didn't have the ability to vote.
See, you could get away with that because you were a guest speaker.
Yeah.
If you would have been the teacher, I think it would have been hard.
But
Today it wouldn't
You were
be.
very kind to me.
Well, as
You
you
never
were.
said there were restrictions on what you can say.
As you were. And of course, this is a mutual admiration right now. So.
Yeah, he never invited me to his class.
Were we speaking then, Dave?
Well, the problem I see, Romeo, and I saw this this online this weekend. Schools are no longer dispensers of education. They're now indoctrination centers. And I went and talked to my daughter, by the way, who's now been indoctrinated, because she tells me, Charlie, she hates Christopher Columbus.
Yeah. Oh. See, that's wrong.
I think it's wrong. I'm
offended by that.
Oh, I am too. Wow. Why?
Because she's been told.
The indigenous,
yes,
yeah.
That he, what he did, he came here and landed in the Bahamas and killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's what they focus on now.
Yeah.
Not that he came here. It's what he did when he got here. And they focus on that and they concentrate on that, and then they're told he's such a bad guy. And therefore, all Columbus statues should come down.
And it really bothers me that they're doing that, and the mayors of the big
When
cities,
the
they're caving in. The mayor of Boston, for example, Marty
They
Walsh.
caved in.
He did.
It's the vocal minority.
And, I'm offended by the fact that they want to bury history like this.
I remember some comedians saying, we have teachers in the Indian reservations telling the kids, and America was discovered by Christopher Columbus.
We used to say, well, the only controversy that we had when I was teaching was, no, it wasn't. It was discovered by Leif Erikson, or it might have been discovered by St. Brendan, a monk. But that was the controversy. It wasn't the controversy about Columbus killing the Native Americans.
I don't know about it. It was here all the time.
Yeah.
What was here all the time?
America?
Well, yes, I know.
Who discovered it?
It was just the ignorance of the Europeans, that's all.
The Europeans discovered it.
We were here all the time. Where you been?
It was named after an Italian, Americus Vespucci.
He's right.
Americo Vespucci,
Charlie,
yes.
I'm impressed, Charlie.
What?
Baldelli.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I agree, Romeo, because the Vikings have been coming to Canada for centuries.
Yeah.
And trading and stuff and going back.
Newfoundland,
They never made a big stink about it and saying, hey, we were really here first,
And ironically, too, of course, we're getting a little off topic, but Columbus died in prison not knowing that he had discovered a new
Why was he in prison?
Something about he didn't exactly. He was supposed to bring back all these treasures for the King and Queen of Spain, and
he didn't.
Yeah, and he made about 3 voyages.
Didn't deliver.
Yeah,
all right.
But I don't think he knew that he had discovered a quote unquote new world. I mean, for the Europeans.
No, he thought he made it, right?
He thought he was in India. That's why he named the natives Indians. You know, didn't even land on the mainland. Actually, he was on the first.
But didn't he bring back tobacco?
I don't know about that.
No, okay.
He brought back a couple of natives with him. He did. Those that he didn't kill. And I'm being sarcastic.
So that's the way the teachers are now. Well, not all of them. I'm painting a broad brush here, but in general,
a liberal bent.
Well,
in education.
It's this new breed of teachers. They've been trained by professors that espouse their views. It's just like parents. Your kids grow up because of the way they're raised. I mean, they act the way. I think they have a lot to do. Racism, for example, that's taught. I think by the older generation to their children. Don't you think so?
Growing up in an Italian neighborhood, all Italians, immigrants.
Yeah.
It was the Roosevelt Democrats.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's who you voted for.
One of the social clubs in Woonsocket, I won't mention. I remember going in one day, and on the left there was a picture of St. Franklin Roosevelt, and on the right there was a picture of St. John Kennedy, and in the middle there's a picture of Jesus Christ. That's how they revered those two.
I hope Jesus was a little higher than the other two.
I think he was.
Yeah, okay.
It makes you wonder, Romeo, what this teacher at Jenks Junior High in Pawtucket, who was arrested for defacing the Columbus statue in Providence.
Well, I hope he loses his job.
What is he teaching?
Hope he loses his job.
Teachers.
You think
his
so?
His
hope he
kids,
does.
I should say.
Yeah.
Well, right now he's on leave.
I think he should get fired.
They call it administrative leave.
Yes, that's
what
right.
What does that mean?
Well, it's the end of the school year, so he's doesn't really mean much of anything right now.
Does he still get paid? Who knows?
It doesn't say. It just says he's on leave, pending an investigation. So you can't fire him.
What is there to investigate?
Until he's found guilty.
You took the statue down, unless he was just in the crowd and he's being accused of doing it. I don't know.
Well, technically, he's charged with, they threw paint on plywood. So is that really against the law?
What a great example to his students. I don't know what he did exactly.
That's right. You're right, Romeo.
Well,
example for his students.
They tried to do something to the statue, and they only got so far before they were caught.
That's unbelievable. And they're letting them do it. And I've seen some of not necessarily in Pawtucket, but nationwide. They tie ropes around these statues and they pull them down, and nobody's stopping them. Nobody's doing anything.
There isn't one mayor that has what the Italians.
I know, intestinal fortitude.
Yeah, don't have any
intestinal fortitude.
That's okay. Rewrite history. Tear them all down. We have no history beyond what we know. No. That's it.
Remember, they're gonna put a disclaimer on the Gone with the Wind. HBO Max streaming service is going to do that first. Before you can watch Gone with the Wind, you got to watch a disclaimer. Maybe you can fast forward through it, but and the disclaimer is coming from an African American woman, and I forget what her title is and who she represents, but she's going to give the disclaimer.
I am so upset about that. That's a classic movie. And at least they're going to keep it on HBO, but with the disclaimer. But, I mean, they wanted to take it off. It went last week.
Well, they wanted to take it off to put the disclaimer on, then put it back on.
Oh, okay. But, no, again, 1939.
Yeah.
That was a good year.
I wasn't around.
It won the Academy Award for Best Picture.
I was in the second grade.
Yeah, I know.
I can't wait for 2039 when all this foolishness passes.
Yeah, but
2039,
Dave.
I'm not going to be around in 2039.
Well, maybe you will, maybe you won't. But
I'm not.
But I will be.
I'm sure you will.
I like your attitude.
You've got a great attitude there, Dave.
And then all this foolishness will pass by. The social discontent and all the rest of this sort of stuff will pass by. And people will tend to the business of making a living and trying to help their fellow citizens do well as they do well and move the human race forward instead of this stumble that we seem to be in right now.
39?
Yeah.
That's 19 years from now.
So what?
It's going to take a while to get there, Charlie.
I'm not going to be around.
Well, that's what you say, but you're not in charge of that. But
you're right, I'm not in charge.
And me, I'll be 84. I mean, what the heck? I can do that on my head. Although it might hurt if I fall.
I don't. All right.
Hey, come on! They just got to have a little bit of. You got to put a little perspective, a little smile into the conversation. Otherwise, people are just going to take a walk on the veranda. And you know, at Crapo Court, what happens when you take a walk on the veranda? There ain't no verandas on Crapo Court, and that can be dangerous. So let's not have anybody doing that one.
Now, in this very sensitive culture that we live in, you might get a phone call from people that live at Kennedy Manor and say, "Why did you?"
Well, they have verandas there. They can go out there. Who cares, right?
Yeah, why didn't you mention my place? Why you're discriminating?
Oh,
you're
well,
Crapo Court.
How about St. Germain?
Yeah.
There you go. You got the idea.
For people who have those kinds of problems, I pray for them daily.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, Romeo, that you, Dave, Charlie, me, we discriminate every single day.
Of course.
How do we do that?
Here we take Cheerios instead of Wheaties.
That's right.
That's discriminating.
You go to Burger King for coffee. Why you're discriminating against McDonald's?
Right. Gee whiz.
Every choice you make on everything, you're discriminating against somebody else.
Right.
Or another company. Always. Every single day.
Never thought about that.
Yeah. Look at it that way.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
You go get we got your donut from Dunkin' Donuts. We're discriminating against Allie's. Although I'm okay with that. That's right. We didn't go down there to get the donut.
All right,
Get free donuts.
You don't put any additional salt on your steak. Now you're putting miners out of work. You realize that, don't you?
You mean salt miners, right?
Salt miners.
The miners, young people.
That's a far reach there, Dave. That's a far reach.
Well, yeah, probably out in Utah. That's a far reach if you had to reach that far.
Utah.
But I am interested on what the disclaimer in front of Gone with the Wind is actually going to say.
Who cares?
But I'm interested in what they.
It's boring.
Why are they trying to? What are they
It's just
trying
people
to say?
misbehaving because they can get away with it.
Maybe.
Who cares? Yeah, Joe's got,
But who? But
Dave,
what are they saying?
Dave's got it right. Who cares?
But are they saying if you watch this movie, be careful because the African Americans are depicted as being slaves, and you might get offended by that.
Well, back in the Civil War era, which is what Going with the Wind depicts, slavery was real, and it was wrong, maybe by our standards.
That's right. It's wrong for today.
Yeah.
It was wrong then, and they changed it.
Yeah.
God bless them. They changed it.
Yes, and there were some people in the country at the time, even way before the Civil War, like Benjamin Franklin, for example, was anti-slavery. He lived in Pennsylvania as a Quaker, and he lived in that Quaker culture. A lot of people in the North were pro-slavery, but a lot of people in the South were anti-slavery as well.
Really?
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah. It was a real mixed bag. Ever since around 1800, when Great Britain outlawed slavery, there had been quite a lot of discussion about it.
1820, I think it was for Britain, roughly. You were in the ballpark, Dave.
Do you believe in
I don't know the
reparation?
exact date.
Do you believe in reparation?
Do I believe in reparations?
Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
How's that?
That's right.
I say no too.
Very
I didn't
strong,
do it.
very direct, very good.
I say no too.
You're
Thank you, Romeo.
I don't pay my father's
You're
debts. My
turning me into a
father's
real
estate will pay
conservative.
them.
What's that again, Dave?
I don't pay my father's debts. My father's estate will pay them.
There you go. I like that line. That's good. And but your father wasn't a slaveholder either.
Nope.
No. I saw another thing online that said if you expect this 2-year-old girl to apologize for slavery, then we should expect this 2-year-old Japanese girl to apologize for Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that's just they're not going to put that up to a vote. They're not going to pass
of
that
course
one,
not.
Joe.
They're just comparing.
I have to ask
boy,
a question, Joe.
It doesn't have. This is what I'm trying to tell you, Joe.
Yeah.
None of this stuff has anything to do with right and wrong. It's just so much talk and hot air.
That's what I want.
I want to
That's
ask
it.
a question.
What's that, Joey?
What's going on with baseball?
We'll
You're
get
the
to-
expert on baseball.
we'll get
I
to-
want to know what's
we'll
going
get
on.
to-
Changing the
Talk about
subject.
boring.
We'll
I
get.
want to know
We'll
what's
get.
going on.
We'll get to baseball in a minute.
We got a hot topic going on here, Charles.
All
It's
right.
getting too heavy, Romeo.
See if anybody else has any
I don't
topics
even
they
know what
want
he's
to talk
talking about. A
about.
2-year-old girl crying. I don't even know what he's referring to.
All right.
All right. Time for the forecast being brought to you by Speedway. And yes, there is a Speedway on Social Street. Used to be Hess, used to be something else.
Sound
before that.
effects.
That's right.
Very
That's
good.
why they put this radar trap out in front of the place, right?
Because it's called Speedway?
Because it's a speedway. Yeah.
All right. Today, the sun will come out this afternoon. High will be near 72. Tonight, clear skies, low 48. Tuesday's weather, sunny, high 76. Tuesday night, mostly clear, low 49. Wednesday, mostly sunny, high 81. Thursday, mostly sunny, high near 86.
There you
The
go.
weather
There
report
we
from
go.
outside, Joe. I'm seeing breaks in the cloud.
Yep.
Nice some spattering of blue amidst the puffy clouds out there.
Yeah.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with 64 degrees. At Speedway, they're here for you with just what you need, right when you need it. So when you stop by, they'll be ready. The convenience stores of Speedway. More coffee ends coming up.
I'm here
Like
with
the old
Celeste
days, the sound
Benjamin
effect.
of the Benjamin Insurance Agency in North Smithfield. Celeste, tell me about the Benjamin Agency.
Most of our business is providing home and auto insurance. However, we feel the most important thing is to insure people. Everyone insures their home, their autos, which are really just objects. I don't know if you know this, Dave, but only 57% of Americans even have life insurance. You may get into an accident, you may have a claim on your home, but life insurance is a guaranteed payout for your family. We are here to keep your family going. Our family serving your family.
You're in good hands with Allstate and Kara and Celeste Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency, 125 Eddie Dowling Highway, across from Dowling Village in North Smithfield, 765-5000.
At Milford Federal Bank, we're not only bankers, we're neighbors, we're friends. We know your stories and you know ours. We participate in the same local traditions, support the same causes, care about the same issues, and take pride in doing our part to make the community the best it can be. Milford Federal Bank, proud to be your neighbor, your friend, and your bank since 1887. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hello, this is Manny Brando.
And this is Virginia. And Manny, now you have to start getting up a half hour earlier because our show is going to begin at 8:30 until 9:30.
I can't get up that early. 8:30 to 9:30. Oh,
That
no.
is correct. That is our new time slot.
I'm confused.
What else is new?
Oh, boy.
This portion of the Coffee and program is being sponsored by the Call newspaper.
The Call, Woonsocket's daily hometown newspaper since 1892, is still essentially a paper for the people. Our photographs record happenings that make news, and some will have historical significance in years to come, while others are intended to entertain or inform you of current events. They illustrate life's drama, which runs the gamut of humor to tragedy and everywhere in between. We're more than a reporter of daily news. Many readers continue to look to our paper for entertainment and relaxation offered by cartoons, comics, and other lighter features offered daily. In addition, we provide you with dates, times, and places of social event happenings throughout the community. Local sports covered daily by award-winning sports staff writers. If you're not subscribing to your local daily newspaper, you should. Call us today at 767-8522. Home delivery is just a phone call away at 767-8522. We take great pride in our publication and our sincere wish to serve you, our readers, at The Call.
All right, it is Coffee In on ON AM and FM, 1240 AM, 99.5 FM. This is Joe Callahan here with Charlie Baldelli, former mayor of the city of Woonsocket, and non-interferer with the police department. Right, Charlie?
Right, absolutely.
Because you were never a policeman, right?
Right.
That's kind of the way it works. Okay, and Romeo Berthium is here as well. Charlie asked me before the break, what is going on with baseball? Well, it looked like, Romeo, that they were going to make. It looked like they might have come close.
I was reporting on it Saturday morning.
And
Yeah.
then,
what happened?
I think it was Saturday afternoon.
Might have been after the show.
It came out. The players were like, "Hey, wait a minute," because Major League the owners made a deal, or Major League Baseball made a deal with Turner Broadcasting, that Turner would broadcast their playoff games, if there were any this year, and subsequent years, for an astounding amount of money of $630 billion.
Did you say billion or million?
With a B.
Are you kidding?
And so the players came back and said, "You want us to pay for less? And look at that contract you just signed." So they kind of put a stop to everything. Now they want their billion. Yeah.
Billion.
That's $630,000 million. $630,000 million. That's what that is.
Yeah. So now the players think they're getting the the shaft in this whole deal.
If I gave
wait
you,
a minute.
I don't blame the players then for. But if I gave you $1 billion, first of all, hypothetically, that's like if I gave you $1 million, 1,000. If I gave you 1,000 checks of $1 million, that's $1 billion. That's just $1 billion. Wow. 638, you said?
36.
That's what I read. There were $630 billion.
Ouch. I mean, come on.
So therefore, once again, as we repeat every Monday, there will be no baseball this year.
Yeah.
How can a family afford to go to a game?
Well, they can. Well, they could, but I mean,
Unless they get...
It's $500 to go to a Major League Baseball game.
Absolutely.
That's once a year. That's once a year.
Just once.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you either go to Disney World or you go to a baseball game. Although I think Disney World's a lot more expensive.
A lot more.
Yeah, because you got to get there and then tickets. Yeah, but generally and family entertainment is becoming out of reach really for a lot of people because of all this. Yeah.
And because of that, you don't see. If you actually look at old games from Fenway.
Yeah.
I mean old, going back a couple of years. There's no real families of four. No. There's two. There's usually a son, a father with his son, or his father with his daughter.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm taking one child right now because I can only afford one child.
It's your turn next year.
That's right.
And it's only $75 to park.
And if you're lucky enough, you got a child that's not interested in baseball. Great, you don't have to make a decision. I'll bring the one that's actually interested in the game.
Yeah. No,
that's the way. That's the way.
It's unaffordable for a family of four. It's almost unaffordable.
Yeah, really, It is.
And it's getting like that with the other sports as well. And
football.
I cringe when I say this because my daughter's a big hockey fan.
Uh-oh.
If you want to go to a Bruins game, and now two of us are going to go, it's just going to be me and her, $300. And that's just the tickets.
Wow.
It's $150.
So she better like hockey.
If you want to sit in a better seat, by the way, because I'm in the balcony paying that amount of money.
Yeah.
If you want better, you're going to pay $300 per ticket.
When does it end?
I don't know.
Probably never.
I don't know where the line is.
2039.
2039.
But the when does it end? I don't know because, and if you look at all the Bruins games, they're always sold out. So if Jeremy Jacobs is going to get all that money all the time, there's no reason to lower the ticket prices. People are paying it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
I don't know. I don't know what Celtics tickets are, and I don't know what the Patriots tickets are.
It's gotten crazy, absolutely crazy. I remember, I'm old enough to remember sitting in the bleachers at Fenway Park for $2, and that's in the late '60s.
My God,
they still say that for college students. I think you can buy them for like $30.
Yeah, well, that's still.
And you're way out in right field somewhere.
Yep.
So
I know.
All right, so. I got nothing else. No.
You got
you know
nothing.
What? It seems like the political season is heating up in Woonsocket.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
Well, we got one person that's come out and says he's going to run for Mike Moran's seat.
Right.
Now that Mike is not running for it.
But Vincent
Bono.
Vin Bono.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And he owns he's the president of the Boston Service Railroad Company that wants to bring the commuter rail to Woonsocket.
I knew that name sounded
my
familiar.
good friend Garrett Mancieri.
And what about the other three people that are going to be running probably with him?
Kithis, is that his name? Kithis?
The councilman?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's three people running with him.
Yep. There'll be
That's
four
a
there. So
progressive
there are
slate.
five.
That's a progressive slate.
Very progressive. I don't know.
Wow.
It'll all depend on the incumbents whether or not they decide to run again.
Well, John Brian is an incumbent. He's running against the
that'll be
mayor.
one open seat for sure.
Yeah. John Ward said he's running.
Okay.
We asked him that last week, and but the others, well, you don't have to declare just yet. It's still kind of early.
Yes.
I remember, Romeo can remember, because he's a Woonsocket native.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
And proud of it. Even
Absolutely.
though,
remember
go ahead.
when they used to have 40, 50 people running for city council?
Oh, yeah, way back.
Oh, my
Back
God.
really?
40, 50. Oh, absolutely.
I can remember, and of course I was a little kid then. We were saying I was in second grade, I was in fourth grade. I was probably in around fifth grade. I remember listening to the council meetings at home on Monday night on not OON, on WWON,
right.
This station. It was only 1240.
WWON.
Right. And I remember those meetings. I remember Bernard Poirier, Jean Paul Soucy, the mayor, one-term mayor,
right.
Kevin Coleman, of course. I remember my father used to listen to those things, and I had no choice. I had to listen, but I enjoyed it. And I was just a kid, so I knew that my future, not necessarily was in politics, but in some sort of civic
you had the right
type
name.
of fear.
Berthium, B.
B.
A, B's, and C's get elected all the time.
Never got elected, though. Never ran, actually.
That's right.
But I think, again, I'll say what I said a few minutes ago on the program, that I think if you're raised a certain way, the parents have a lot to do with the way the kids turn out. And a lot of parents don't realize that, especially this thing about this racism thing.
Yeah.
That's taught by parents and grandparents.
You're right. but not taught in the way.
No,
okay,
by
son, junior.
No.
This is what I think, and you will think this way, just by your actions,
just by the actions,
and how you speak,
and the way they talk. Yeah, exactly.
And then you always hear that from,
and it's true.
Like pediatricians that just say, be careful what you say around your children.
He's right,
because they're always listening. They're listening and they're watching.
That's right.
Okay, that's how you act.
That's right.
Okay, got it.
Absolutely. No doubts about it. So, if you're a parent, keep that in mind. If you haven't.
My computer is working again, so if you want to send in an email, Joe at Woonsocket Radio, you can. And this has come in. It's time to make sacrifices players, the baseball players.
I agree.
Enough already. Sports fans are thirsting. Be practical. Let's play ball. But normally I side with the owners, but this deal they just signed with TBS, now I'm kind of siding with the players. Who, hey, look at all this money you're going to get.
Yeah.
Why aren't we getting paid?
It's going to be really an abbreviated season if they play.
Well, now it is. I'm looking at 80 seasons, 80 games,
about a half a season.
Right? Yeah. I'm concerned about basketball. I don't know what the players over there have got up their sleeves. A lot of them are talking about just like not showing up. They don't want to go down to Orlando and play.
I don't follow basketball. I really don't.
The NBA is going to have them all play in one area. That way they can test them better and like that. They're going to play down at Disney World.
Oh.
The NHL is going to play in 2 different places.
I think the only normal sport this year would be football because they're going to do their regular.
How about soccer?
Do you agree with that, Joe?
Soccer's now playing.
If you mean normal
season,
yes,
yeah.
But no fans in the stands.
Yeah.
I don't know if you call that normal.
Well, not really, but at least they'll be playing, and they'll have a.
But it's a big difference.
And I'll be most of the fans. And I don't know about you. I've been to a couple.
I went to
Patriots games, but I enjoy the games more at home.
Of course.
Where I can just relax and fall asleep.
You don't want to sit in a seat in Patriot Stadium because nobody sits down. Everybody stands up the whole game.
I know. It's exciting to be there and everything, but I'd rather watch the game at home.
I once went to a luxury box up there next to.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, and
not next to
what I found amazing was they opened the windows so you could hear the crowd.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could not hear the noise of the crowd.
Well, they'll have sound effects. Why not? They probably will.
Yeah, but they would open up the windows so you could hear the crowd.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take our final break here in the Coffee and program. Comments and questions can still be called in, 766-1240, or email them in to me, joe at onesocketradio.com. And this segment of the Coffee and program has been sponsored by the Call newspaper.
The Call is proud to announce a new and improved daily classified advertising program for our newspaper readers, subscribers, and advertisers. Blackstone Valley Values is a more affordable local buying and selling marketplace every day of the week. Lost and found, apartment rentals, items for sale, homes for sale or rent, and even job listings will now be even more within your reach. As always, if you have something you want to sell, call us today with your ad, and it'll appear in the next day's call. Be sure to contact us, though, before the 3 p.m. deadline. Furthermore, if you're a subscriber to the Call, you'll benefit from value member discounts and possibly some free advertisements with this new program offer. The Call continues to be dedicated to you, as we have been for over 120 years. Call us today and learn more about our new classified program at 767-8503. To subscribe to the Call and become a valued member, call today, 767-8522.
Most automobile accidents, major or minor, are somewhat traumatic. They affect people's routine and employment, sometimes their health. That's why Micho's Auto Body is committed to addressing all phases of accidents, including repairs, reports, rentals, and stress. They offer the full package. Their promise is to give each person all that they are paying for and then some. Micho's Auto Body on Privilege Street in Woonsocket, 769-1983.
Our lives have changed in many ways since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Spending more time at home has given us opportunities to organize, try new recipes, and take virtual fitness classes. We've embraced distant learning and connect with work and friends through Zoom meetings. But what about your children's mental health? Have you talked to them and asked them how they're feeling? Remember to check in with your kids. Take a walk with them, share a meal, and offer your support. Talk early, talk often, talk now.
This message sponsored by the Blackstone Valley Prevention Coalition and the Department of Behavioral Health Care, Developmental Disabilities, and Hospitals.
It is Coffee In on ON, AM, and FM. This is Joe Callahan here with Charlie Baldelli, Dave Richards, and Romeo Berthium. And we did have a note that came in. Romeo, maybe you've heard of this. If anyone's interested in a very good movie about Christopher Columbus, it was made by Ridley Scott in 1992, titled 1492, Conquest of Paradise.
No, I'm not familiar with it. But
Never heard of it.
Okay.
Conquest of Paradise. I wonder.
If my wife is listening, Jeanette, please write that down.
1492.
I want to see the movie.
Get his own
Conquest of
secretary.
Paradise.
Yeah. Okay.
I did not see it either. So
maybe some of our listeners will.
Decent recommendation.
Yeah.
Romeo said, Jeanette, write it down.
All right. This will bother Dave, but we'll do it anyway.
That's fine.
In the realm of we got to put a disclaimer in front of Going with the Wind now. The same people.
Right.
Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam cannot shoot their guns anymore. The cartoons.
Why?
Yeah. Oh, it's gun violence.
Yeah.
We're promoting gun violence.
Yeah.
So they say Elmer Fudd cannot hunt Bugs Bunny with a gun anymore. I said, well, what's he going to use? Is a pickaxe any better?
How about a taser?
I don't know. So what do you?
I know.
Romeo.
A bow and arrow, is that better?
This, of course, will cause unending unemployment at the Acme Manufacturing Company because Wile E. Coyote will not be allowed to buy all those items to try to get the Roadrunner, and if he ever came close, PETA would be after him.
I want to ask the history major, do you believe in political correctness,
No.
Romeo?
No.
I believe in it. It's real.
I think it's going too far.
I think it's misguided, but it's real. I believe in things that are real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there.
I had to ask a history major.
It is real, but I don't abide by it. I think it's crazy.
I think it's crazy too.
Dave, to follow up on what you said about Acme, they're going to be okay.
Oh?
Because according to Looney Tunes people, they're going to continue with the usual cartoony violence. They're just not going to use guns.
They're going to beat each other up.
But this week and next week, it's going to be something else. And next week after that, it's going to be something else.
You can use dynamite. You can drop the anvil on someone's head. That's perfectly fine. Everyone's going to laugh.
That won't last.
And but what, the anvil people are going to come out?
It's the camel's nose under the tent flap. I'm telling you. You take that away, the next thing is going to be something else. Because radicals know no limits, Joe. That's the problem.
I to go back to your question about political correctness, I think 80% of all people, at least in this country, don't believe in political correctness. Everybody I talk to is opposed to it, but yet that small minority.
Well, in your orbit, there's other people.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I have
people you come in contact with.
I have a pretty big orbit there, David.
Okay.
But the thing is, I think most people are opposed to it, but opposed to the fact that they have to be careful of everything they say. But I do believe that a very small minority of people are pushing this thing, and it's
but you got to watch out.
I talked about earlier.
Yes.
That's the vocal minority.
Even though I didn't like Spiro Agnew, he was right.
But Dave was right, because if you remember, it was a few years ago, the radicals came out and said Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Service should not have elephants in their act.
Right.
And as soon as they got rid of them, they said, okay, we're going after the whole circus next. And they did.
Yeah.
And now Ringling Brothers is not in business anymore.
That's right.
So sad.
I don't know who they're going to go after next.
Read the history books, folks. Read the history books.
Charlie, you go to Sarasota, right?
Right.
So there's a museum there.
Right, the Ringling Brothers.
I
Ringling,
visited that this past winter. A lot of
beautiful. They haven't shut it down yet?
Oh, no. Absolutely not. They better not. But it's sad. You're right. That whole part of Americana is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah,
why did the leadership in this country listen to those folks?
They cave into. Why
do they cave in?
Why are the mayors caving into?
And the governors, some governors, they're wimps.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, the governor or the mayor of Minneapolis, Seattle said, let's negotiate with those that are occupying 6 blocks.
No.
Let's negotiate.
No. Anyway. Yeah, Seattle's something bad's going to happen in Seattle.
I think so.
Soon.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure what, but something's going to happen.
Well, that's kind of a rebellion, right? Against,
anything they don't like today.
Okay, Civil War was a rebellion. Yeah. They sent in federal troops, and they got. Eventually, they talk about Trump is not authorized to send in federal troops to quell civil disorder. That's not true.
No, he could if
that 1807 law, then he'd have to implement. But
send in the 82nd Airborne.
Sooner or later, they're going to have to do something to stop that.
What was the name of that rebellion right after the Revolutionary War?
Shays.
That was sending in the
Shays.
national government.
Yeah.
To go
Federal
squash that.
troops, they did. The whiskey, and then there was the whiskey rebellion.
Before that was the Whiskey Rebellion.
I think the Whiskey Rebellion came after Shays. Shays came first because that's what precipitated the Constitutional Convention.
Okay.
And then it was.
I won't disagree with you there because I'm not firm on the dates.
Yep.
I don't remember that.
Definitely the Whiskey Rebellion.
You weren't around, Charlie.
Charlie, it's one of the few things that happened that you didn't see personally.
No, but I think there are times when, if there are rebellions, the federal government has a right to step in. That's the whole point of it. That's how they
restore order. Right?
That's what they did with the Civil War when they fighting on Fort Sumter.
The 6 blocks that they've occupying.
Yeah.
Cut off all utilities. No water, no electricity, no gas, no nothing.
You know what else you need to cut off?
What about garbage pickup?
Nothing.
What's going on right now? The other one I saw, and this is also online, Charlie. If you cut off their internet service,
oh my,
and they couldn't take videos and selfies of each other, they'll just go home.
Yeah.
They'll just wander around until they can get cell service again.
Then they have to find a job. They don't want to find a job. They don't work.
And the federal government can do that. The federal government now, it couldn't years ago, but it can now. It is taken hold. So that's why they want to go with all the over-the-air, Wi-Fi, 5G, all the rest of this, because the FCC controls all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, it was private companies and educational institutions. So, I'm saying that
Well, there you go, Joe. Shut off the
federal
Wi-Fi
government, yeah,
and
that's
it'll
right.
kill them.
Shut off the Wi-Fi, it's over.
Yeah.
They look like young teenagers, most of these
Well, they
demonstrators.
are.
They're like in their 20s, maybe 19, 20.
Well, those are the people who have the hot temperament
Charlie,
and the demand to change.
In all due respect, Charlie, if they're in their early 20s, they're not teenagers.
You're right. You're right. So once in a while I miss.
So we caught you on that one, Charlie.
Thanks for picking that up.
No problem.
Now this didn't.
You don't have to be a mathematician to get that one right.
Absolutely.
I don't believe this made the Call newspaper, although I'm surprised it didn't, because the Call and the Sun Chronicle and the Times are all owned by the same company now.
Okay.
But this was a few weeks ago, and this was reported in the Sun Chronicle. The Rentham Police Department got a tip that some radicals were coming to the outlets.
Okay.
And so they contacted the Mass State Police and themselves, and they were waiting for them. 30 cars, this is reported in the Sun Chronicle, 30 cars from New York showed up.
From New York.
From New York.
Ready to loot and pillage the Rentham outlets. And when they got there, they saw the show of force from the Rentham Police and the State Police and decided not to, and they circled and then left.
Antifa?
And so they didn't expect to find what they found there. And they said, "Oh, this isn't going to work today."
Do you
and
think
so
George
they left.
Soros is behind a lot of this?
I've heard that too. He's supplying or financing the Antifa group. I don't know. I don't know that much about him, so I don't know.
Some of the places downtown in Woonsocket are still boarded up. At least they were on Friday night when I drove through. Saturday morning.
The police department isn't.
No,
They
but
took
the
theirs
Stadium
down.
Theater is, and so
Are they?
Yeah, still, at least was Saturday morning. I don't know if they've taken that off.
Well, nothing's going on at the Stadium Theater. So
Yeah, they may as well keep it up there
Let's
for a
keep
while.
it there.
But I think it was good that they took those precautions because nothing really happened in the city.
Nothing's going on yet. They've booked some shows for November, Joe.
Okay.
They're looking very much forward to it.
Good. And they'll take the boards down
I
by
won't
then.
be here in November. No, it's not.
Well, Charlie, that is a personal choice.
Yes.
You're gonna start missing. You're gonna start missing things now.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you're here for a summertime when all the fairs and festivals have been shut down.
May as well go back to Florida.
How about Autumn Fest, Dave? You're in on that.
Yeah.
Is
Autumn
there
Fest.
going to be an Autumn Fest? or what?
Autumn Fest has said that they are doing everything they can to have an Autumn Fest, but the decision will be made much closer to October.
Well, my fear about having these outside festivals, and I haven't heard anything official about Queen of Martyrs yet, but I can say that the French Heritage Festival probably, again, no official vote has been taken yet, but it looks as if they may cancel that this year. And the reason for that is, even if everything is okay, a lot of people are still hesitant to come out in crowds. So you can have.
So
this
you'll have a
event.
money loser.
You can have events, but if people don't come, build it and they will come is not going to work this year, I think. And I think that's the main reason. I'm just going to predict it. I mean, I'm not on any autumn pest committee or anything, but I think they're going to think twice before they decide to have it or even to cancel it. So far, it's not happening, but we don't know. What's happening out there?
I don't know, Joe. What's happening is Joe is finding out why Dave didn't open the window this morning.
Okay.
Well, just good.
Anyway.
It's a jackhammer, my friend. It's a jackhammer.
I thought I was at the dentist.
No, the dentist office is.
Are they further over there on?
Okay.
Well, I can't see, Joe. I have my back to that area.
Yep.
So
Can't see it
put
anyway.
on the street camera.
Yep. Yep.
Put on the street camera. You see anything?
I think it's on Kennedy Street.
Yeah, it sounds like it's on Kennedy Street.
Oh,
It is.
Go down Francis.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
Anyway, we did get another message that got called in. Back to Gone with the Wind.
Yep.
Hattie McDaniel. I think you had this as a trivia question,
Yep.
maybe, Dave. Hattie McDaniel was an American actress, singer, songwriter, and comedian. She's best known for her role as Mammy in Gone with the Wind, for which she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. First African American to win the award.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
So see that?
Yeah.
And they're offended by her role, probably.
Well, probably because
And yet she won an Academy Award.
She plays a slave.
They should be happy that she's the first African American to win an Academy Award. Think about that.
We are,
Joe
but
Callahan,
anyway.
when are
Yes.
we going to return to normalcy?
You know what? You know
Joe,
what?
Charlie wants to set his watch, Joe. Come on.
Okay. January 1st, 2021.
Okay.
It's funny, you see all the politicians. Mostly I've seen Biden say it, and I've seen Joe Kennedy, Massachusetts, say it. We're not returning to the old normal. Because they're saying the old normal was bad. We're going with new normal.
Okay.
At some point.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it either.
I don't agree with it.
Which we will
Are
term.
we unanimous on that?
I like the
Which
good old days.
in 2022 we will term the new normal bad, and
Okay.
replace it with another new normal.
Another new normal? All right. Just so that you're aware, this week is National Dog Bite Awareness Week.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you know, and the folks at the post office are very excited about that because they like to get the word out.
Yeah.
About curbing you. I've seen dogs around that I never saw before. I don't know why it's happening.
Are they running loose?
I've seen dogs loose, yeah.
Are they rescue dogs?
No, they're not with people.
Are they?
They're running around.
Running around.
The Postal
Yeah.
Service is urging dog owners to secure canines away from the front doors of their homes and to never take mail directly from a postal carrier with a dog nearby.
Right.
In Los Angeles, 74 mail carriers were attacked by dogs last year. Wow. Nationwide, just over 5,800 postal carriers were bitten or mauled by canines.
Sure. That's a real problem. We think of
That
it
is
as
a
not
problem.
being a big deal.
But it is.
But it really is a big problem.
Yeah.
It's an occupational hazard.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want your mail, because my understanding is, unless they've changed the rules recently, the letter carrier cannot deliver the mail safely. They can omit, despite
They
what.
don't have to, yeah.
I agree with that.
Despite that old poem that through rain and all the rest of that stuff like that. No. If they cannot do it safely, they are to withdraw and report back at the office. I cannot deliver mail to that address. Now another division goes in and tries to straighten it out.
You know, I was a Woonsocket call carrier when I was a kid.
Mm.
And we
didn't have the same rules.
Yeah, but we had the same problem though with
Yeah.
dogs.
Yeah.
And I remember getting bitten a few times, and I remember my
You were bitten
my
a
mom
few
and
times?
dad telling
Really?
me, next time you get, you feel a dog is going to attack you, don't deliver the paper there. And I didn't. And then we get call from from the customer,
course,
from
of
the
course.
Woonsocket call office.
Yeah,
One of our
of
customers
course.
called. You didn't deliver the paper today. What's
Yes,
going on?
dog problem.
The dog bit me.
Yeah, but really, I mean, that's a
So
big problem.
when I delivered the calls, I would never do it without my bike.
Yeah, buddy.
Put the bike between you and the...
Oh,
You had-
okay,
when
I
you
got it.
had the bike, you had protection. You
Yeah.
could either flee extra fast,
Yeah.
or you had the bike to put between you and whatever was coming after you. Oh, yeah.
All right, we got to run. The show's come to an end, so thank you very much for listening in. Charlie Baldelli, thanks for coming in. Best of luck getting to